Good morning and welcome. Welcome to the Matrix Fitness live workout. My name's Gleed. Today's workout is all going to be about different blocks. The first block we're going to do is about conditioning work. The second block is going to be about the core. The third block is going to be a combat fighting workout. So during this workout, you're going to need a little bit of space. You might like a mat nearby you. Just that way then you can pop that down on the floor and we do some of our ground-based core work as well. If you're ready, I'm ready, and I'll do every single repetition with you and lead you through all of the different options of the exercise as well. First thing we're going to do is just start to open up the arms across your body. So think of a big diagonal box around you. I want you just to reach the two corners opposite each other, reaching the arms backwards a little bit, and this will just help start to mobilize through the shoulder a little bit more. Now bring this across your body, just in front of your chest, just so you can start to get a nice stretch moving across here, and this will just again help you start to do some of the workout, especially when we've got some of the combat moves later on. We just want to have some nice mobility in the shoulders as well. Next thing we're going to do is a little half squat. So I'm just going to turn slightly sideways so you can see. And I want you to lower your hips down towards the floor, just to a comfortable level. You don't need to challenge yourself too much at the moment. It's just about getting your body to move, getting the blood into the muscles that are going to be working. I've got an option of a few squats and with the potential of a couple of jumps later on. So I want to make sure that your muscles are all ready for the workout we're going to do as well. Just keep that squat going, lowering your hips down towards your heels. Excellent. Now what we're going to do is a step back lunge. So I'm just going to get a little bit more space. Going to take a large step down towards the floor, step back up, and then alternate over towards the opposite side. Now when you're taking this large lunge, take a big step, and then just find your center of point of gravity, and then lower the back knee down towards the floor. And that can just get a little bit of a stretch through the front of your hip, and also just start to challenge your stability a little bit as well. Some of the moves that we've got coming up are going to require this exact range of movement. So you just want to spend a little bit of time here. Now notice this, I'm just going to lean back slightly. Now the benefit of leaning back slightly is I'm just starting to get a little bit of a stretch in the hip flexor, just because I want to prepare those for some of the moves that we've got coming up as well. So just a little bit of a lean back, and that will get you working as well. Good. Now what I want you to do is to try and get your heart rates up a little bit higher. So imagine you've got a skipping rope, but what I want you to do is just push off the floor. So when you're getting this skipping working, what I want you to do is just to push off the floor and imagine you're jumping over the rope. Now the nice thing about this rope is that you're not going to leave yourself with whip marks on your calves after you've maybe lost your timing a little bit as well. Now can you just move a little bit side to side? Just working on a bit of agility, pushing off your feet into different diagonal movements. What about moving forwards and backwards? Can you scissor those legs? Skipping is a great way of getting fit. So if you've ever got a skip rope at home and you're looking outside and it's looking like a wet day, and you don't quite fancy that walk, that run, a little bit of skipping would be a great way of exercising as well. Okay, just relax there. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs. Now, what we're going to do is take a fighting stance. What I want you to do is I want you to jab forwards. Then I want you to cross your body and jab again. Then what we're going to do is we're going to jump 180 degrees. We're going to go jab, cross, jab. Jump again, jab, cross, jab. Good. Now just start to throw those punches around about head height. And just each time making sure that you're bringing your hands back in next to your chin. So you're really starting to mimic what a real fighter would do. As you're throwing those punches, you can just start to pivot on your feet slightly. This just makes sure we don't put any strain on the knees, but it also just allows us to mobilize through the ankles, the hips, and especially through the shoulders as we throw those punches. Okay, relax there. Next movement we're going to do is a knee strike. So what I want you to do, I want you to stand in an athletic stance. We're going to reach diagonal, drive your knee up 3 times, and then bring yourself back to the center and we'll take it to the opposite side. So drive your knee up 3 times, and then over to the opposite side. Now what we're trying to do here is to create mobility in quite a dynamic way, because we're going to be doing some exact movements like this later on. And the last ones. Okay, now, during the workout, we're going to be doing 45 seconds of work and 15 seconds recovery. Let me show you the first exercise of our conditioning block. You're going to take a step to the side, then you're going to squat, come back up, and then take a step to the side, squat. Okay, let's get going for 45 seconds. Nice deep movement here. So what we're trying to do is just get you moving A little bit of a stretch of your inner thighs as you lower yourself down into that squat. So this should feel not too hard to begin with. Now I'm going to give you every single round of exercise a progression the second time we do it. So just think about the movement you're doing at the moment, and we've got an option of making it a little bit harder if you wanted to at any time. So I'm just going to stick with a squat, step, squat for this first time that we do it. But what we're going to encourage you to do is to try and challenge your fitness today at whatever level of ability you've got, and we'll just try and do a little bit more each time we go through these exercises. Last one, good. Next we're going to do is a scissor jump. So what's going to happen is 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. You're going to scissor the legs. It's going to be around about 5 seconds of scissoring. Then what we're going to do is we're going to do a boxer's duck and weave. And then we scissor those legs again. So getting your body moving, starting to drive the arms. It's about 5 seconds of work, and then a boxer's duck and weave, and then back into those scissors. So we're starting to get your heart rate up, but I'm also starting to get you used to having your hands next to the sides of your chin, so that way we can really start to challenge your fitness progressively through this workout. Good. Now those ducks and weaves, I want you to become very mobile and agile. I want you to be able to literally just duck underneath somebody throwing a punch towards you. If these are our conditioning drills, then later on when we come into the combat, that's when we'll start to fight back a little bit as well. Good, scissor jumps here. And let's take you down to the floor for a mountain climber. So your last exercise of the first round is a mountain climber. Now you can use the mat if you'd like to, but if you come up into this position, drive your knees underneath your chest. Okay, 45 seconds, bring your shoulder blades back and down. Let's get you working. Now I like the mountain climbers because I think it's a very strong position to get used to. It's going to work the arms, but it's a great core exercise. If you think about today's theme being a little bit of a combat workout, I want you to think about working your abdominals so that if you were to get a punch into your stomach, they would hurt their fist more than it would hurt you. So being in a really strong position, keep driving your knees backwards so you're extending your legs. Shoulder blades are back and down. And just keep a really strong position. Now, with your eyes, look at an imaginary line between the fingertips. And that will always help you just maintain a really good position. Okay, let's have a look at that lateral squat again. So here's the options now. A larger step, a squat and push off. Then a large step, feet together, squat and push off. Let's get going for 45 seconds. Now, if the jump isn't what you want to be doing today, that's absolutely fine. Just take a step and a squat. You've got the options to turn this workout into exactly what you would like it to be and what you need it to be. So if you need literally to ease off the jumping, then that's absolutely fine. But if you can, think about staying low, working the inner thighs and then pushing off from that deep position. Good. Lateral step, and then jump up from that deep squat. Push yourself. So try and stay low, then explode. Stay low, explode. You can see my arms pushing backwards as I extend up through my hips. Good, okay, relax there. Let's take back to those scissor jumps. And remember, what we're going to do is have that duck and that weave. And that's where we're maintaining this head moving from side to side to avoid the punches. Let's get you ready for those scissor jumps to begin with. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, driving your arms out in front of you. It's about 5 seconds of the scissor jumps, and then a duck and a weave. Let's go again. Driving those arms forwards, getting your feet moving so you're working, and then duck and weave. Good. Go, duck and weave. Good. So just trying to get your mobility all the way from your knees, all the way from your sides, leaning from one side to the other, and then start to drive yourself into those scissor jumps again. So those scissor jumps, just jumping 1 foot forwards, 1 foot backwards. Last duck and weave. Good, shake it out. Let's take it down to the floor for those mountain climbers again. Now I'm going to grab a mat this time, because I'm actually going to stay down here on the floor, that way the mat doesn't get in the way too much. Now if you haven't got a mat, you could use a towel or a jumper, or anything like that to help support you. Okay, mountain climbers, let's go. Drive your knees underneath your body. Big extension of the leg, Looking at the top of the mat, or that imaginary line between your fingertips, think about squeezing your butt cheeks and your quads tight together, especially when their leg is extended. Good. This way you'll notice whether your heart rate is up and your breathing is a little bit deeper. This one of those conditioning drills that we've just done. When you're doing exercises like the mountain climber, it's a great chance for your heart rate to come back down, but yet you still get to work the body. In a strong position. Good, excellent. Right, now bring yourself up to a standing position. Let me show you the next exercise. I'm going to stand at the end of the mat. From here, I'm going to hinge forwards. I'm going to reach down towards the floor, just a slight bend in the knees. I'm going to walk forwards, and then I'm going to push through my hands to bring me all the way back up to a standing position. Let's go for these. So these are called walkouts. You're walking your hands out into that press-up position, and then walking your hands all the way back up again, and bring yourself back up to standing. Now, it's not the biggest exercise in terms of putting heart rates up high, but it's quite a challenging exercise because you've got to work on mobility, a little bit of flexibility, but as well as a bit of strength, just be able to hold your body up through your arms as well. So I like this exercise for just a few different reasons, but it's a good core exercise where you have to work your arms, legs, which means that the whole of the core is working all the way through these exercises. Okay, let's take it down onto your side. We're going to go into a side plank position. So, elbow is underneath your shoulder. What we're going to do is stack your feet upon each other. And what we're going to do is hold you up into a side plank in 3, 2, 1, let's go up. Now this time, what we're going to do is go and lower your hips up and down. We're going to do around about 20 seconds on one side. Then I'm going to show you a really quick transition as I spin around over to my opposite side. And that way then you'll still be able to see my technique and copy from there. But just think about pushing your hips up as high as they can, then lower down towards the floor and back up again. Okay, here's the spin. Quick transition over towards the other side. You can just turn around if you know the exercise. Push your hips up and down, and we can get you working again. Good. So the hips push high, then they lower down towards the floor. This is a side plank with a hip drop. So lowering the hip and then pushing it up nice and high. Good. Okay. Now let's get you into a press-up position again. Check this out for me. From the press-up position, you're going to reach towards your toes, come back to your press-up position, and alternate to the opposite side. Okay. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Up into that press-up position. Reach towards your toes, come back to the press-up position, and alternate to the other hand and foot. So I'm reaching my right hand towards my left toes, and my left hand towards my right toes. The goal here is it's that mobility. Now we've already worked on the mobility in the first exercise we did in our core block with those walkouts. So this should feel like you could reach in towards your toes, but if it becomes a challenge, you can always start to think about bending your knees a little bit, and that can massively help you. So you could just come to here if you need to. So you've got a couple of options here. See if you can keep the legs straight, so the hips go up, and then you reach with the toes. Okay, let's do the walkouts again. So we do all those 3 exercises a second time. These are our core exercises, working a lot on mobility today. So standing up nice and tall, and what we're going to do is walk yourself down, hands go down in towards the floor, walk yourself forwards into that strong press-up position, and then push through the hands to bring you all the way back up to a standing position as well. Let's go again. Now again, don't rush these core exercises. When you're doing any core work, it's got to be controlled work. It's the best way to get the muscles working, and you get the most amount of benefit from doing it this way as well. So get a really big movement here. Hinge on the hips, walk your hands down into that press-up position, find that perfect press-up position, and then start to walk yourself back up again as well. Good. Got time for one more. Walk your hands forwards, strong press-up position, and then walk yourself back up. We're going to take you down towards the floor for our side plank with hip drop. So feet stacked upon each other. Let's get you ready. 20 seconds this side, then we're going to spin around onto the opposite. Let's go up, and then start to move those hips high, and then back down again. So creating that big range of movement. Big, big, big push. Try and get the hips to move as much as they can, so they really do create that mobility with a side bending position. If you're working on the mobility here, if you think about those ducks and weaves that we did, let's switch you over, then those ducks and weaves all became possible from your hip mobility, so we're just doing another exercise focusing on those as well. So really push your hips up, and then touch down towards the floor and back up. Big range of movement if you can. Good. Okay, let's get you ready for those pikes with toe touch. So, standing at the end of your mat or creating a little bit of distance, what we're going to do is we're going to go down to the floor in a strong press up position, and then we're going to reach towards the toes. So let's get you set up in a press up position, and then reach towards your toes, back to the press up, and then alternate to the opposite side. So when you pike those hips up, it's the hips go high, your arms look towards your toes, and think of them as a target to reach towards. So if you're not quite touching your toes, that's fine. For some of you which have got a lot of flexibility and a lot of mobility, you actually might be reaching almost past your toes. And that's all good as well. Remember, we want you to make them work out exactly how you feel comfortable and challenge yourself in the way that you need your body to move today. It could be a wet day outside, so it's good to get a bit of exercise in. Okay, and relax there. Now let's get rid of this mat. What we're going to do is we're going to go into our knee strides. Now we've had a look at this in the warm-up. So let's take this into another level now. Slight bounce to the knee, it's going to be 3 knee strikes. Give me a couple of bounces in the middle. And then 3 knee strikes over towards the opposite side. Bounce in the middle. Now I said this was going to be the combat round. Now that means that there's got to be an amount of controlled aggression. So I want you to imagine you're grabbing someone's head and you are driving your knee right through that. Now that is a bit too aggressive for you. That's not a problem. Picture a ball. Picture anything that gets you with a focus of having to reach something to pull your knee down in towards it. Good. So just a few bounces in the middle, just to help you reposition your ankles and then drive over towards the opposite side. Good. Let's do these last ones. 3 more. Drive your knee. Good. Okay. Now check this one out. As part of our combat, we also need you to be really quick and strong. So, jumping jacks. Around about 5 seconds. Then we're going to do 2 overhead squats to develop that strength a little bit more. Let's go. Jumping jacks for 5 seconds. Now, overhead squats. Good. Just 2 of those. Excellent. Jumping jacks for 5. And then the overhead squats. Reach the arms high, lower your hips towards your heels, keeping your back straight. Jumping jacks. And overhead squats. Reach the arms high and extend your arms tall, even as you're lowering down. Get those jumping jacks in. Arms go high, lower your hips down. Good. Take those jumping jacks. Last round. Arms high, 2 squats, and then let's get you ready for your final exercise. In a fighting stance, we're going to jab, cross, jab, cross. We're going to keep these going, and then what we'll do is we're going to go for an uppercut. Now we're going to pivot the feet with every single punch that we throw. Let's go. Jab, cross. Aiming at head height, making sure that you just allow your feet to stay loose and move. And what we want you to do is bring your fist back to your chin with every single punch. Now give me a couple of uppercuts. So here, let's show those again. Underneath the body, I need you to duck and explode up. Let's go back to those jab crosses. Just keep firing out those arms out in front. It's going to improve your fitness just because it's going to build your heart rate up, but it connects all of the body. Let's have a look at those undercuts again. So push up through the feet. Hit underneath somebody's chin. Okay, relax there. Back to our knee strikes. So we're going to just have that holding pattern in the middle. It'll be 3 knee strikes to one side. Back into the holding pattern, and then over to the opposite side. Going in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So, knee strikes. Good. Holding pattern in the middle. Just a few bounces. And then over to the opposite side. Now, there is no need to stay in time with me. If you've got a bit of music playing in the background, just enjoy that beat. Get your feet moving. Just get yourself working. It's your workout, make it your own. So get those knee strikes in high. A few pulses in the middle here, and then drive over to the opposite side. Good. 15 seconds of work to go here. You have an option, if you would like to turn these into kicks. Okay, so it's going to be a kick, step back, kick, over to the opposite side. Kick, 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 come back to the middle. Okay. Jumping jacks with our overhead squats. We know this one. Nice simple arms coming out and narrow, and then arms stay up as we deep squat into that position. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's jumping jack. Getting a little bit of fitness into our combat section. It's about 5 seconds of jumping jacks. And then here we go, 2 overhead squats. Lower your hips down towards your heels, keeping your arms overhead. Let's jump. And again, arms go up, lower your hips down, keeping your back as straight as possible. Jumping the jacks. Arms go up, reach your hips down towards your heels again. Keep that strong position. Let's go. Keep your body moving as much as possible. Okay, jumping jacks, arms stay high. 2 squats here, and relax. Okay, now we did the jab and the cross. This time we're going to hook. Now check out my foot, my knee, and my hip. It moves at the same time as my elbows. These are going to be your hooks. I want you to aim for the side of somebody's head this time, okay? So just start to pivot. Make them as nice and strong. So you put the effort into these. Okay, let's go to those uppercuts. Now, under. Try and get low and then come up with the punch. Good. Let's go back to those hooks. So, pivoting off the feet. So just check out my ankles. They're moving, so I don't put any pressure onto my knees. Good. Now let's go into those undercuts again. So, under and drop up. So it's almost like dropping into that half squat and then exploding up into that movement. Okay, let's go back to those hooks. And then back to the undercuts. Good. Put underneath the body. Cut up underneath them and punch that through. Great work, everybody. First thing we're going to do is we're going to allow your heart rate to come back down a little bit. We're going to take down to the floor for an up dog and down dog. So a little bit of yoga as we go into our cool down. From this position, what I want you to do is place your hands underneath your shoulders, and I just want you to have your knees on the floor and lower your hips down towards the floor. Lift your chin and chest up, just so you feel a stretch through the front of your hips. Now from here, making sure your toes are tucked under, push through the hands, look towards your toes. Readjust your feet where you feel comfortable. Now I'm just going to pedal my heels, which will just give me a little bit more of a stretch through my calves. Now just holding that downward facing dog position, pushing your hips high, chest goes towards the knees. Now bring yourself forwards, lower your hips down, knees can rest onto the floor, lift your chin and chest high. Good, and again, push through your hands back to downward facing dog. Now check out this, my foot is going to come all the way up to the side of my hand. Now if you can't physically get it there, move it, it'll be fine. Now reach the arm up and push the back heel away. This is the world's greatest running stretch. Great stretch for the whole of the body. Good. Let's bring that hand down, back to downward facing dog. Let's change over to the opposite foot, coming up to the side of your hand. And then again, you reach that hand high, push the heel away. You really start to lengthen through the body. Good. Okay, bringing the hand back down. All you do is bring your knees together and just roll up through your spine. Good, shake yourself out. We're going to do a quadricep stretch. So just taking hold of one foot into the palm of your hand. Keep yourself looking straight ahead to help keep your balance a little bit. And hold up a really nice tall position. Push your foot into the palm of your hand. Good, do a little shaking and swap it over. Good. Okay, now bring that foot down by your side. What I want you to do is to reach your arms up, link them together, and have a little bend through the side. After doing some of the punches, I want to get a nice long stretch down through the side of the body. We've done some nice side work on our core sections, but also throwing punches does use a lot of the muscles, like your obliques and some of our lateral muscles down the sides of the back. And they all rapidly work together, so it's really important to give them a good stretch. Okay, come back to the centre. Bring your hands behind you. And what I want you to do is I want you to lift your chin and chest toward as you take a deep stretch through the chest as well. This will just help release any tension in the neck. And then from this position, just have to think about dropping your head to one side so your ear comes close to your shoulder, and back to the centre when you're ready, and then over to the opposite side. Good. Come back to the centre, so again, over to one side, get a nice stretch down to the side, feeling a little bit of release of tension through the neck, and then over to the opposite side. Good, and relax there. Thank you very much for joining me for this Matrix Fitness workout. My name's Matt. And if you've just been checking out the exercises, we'll be back again doing them at 12 o'clock and also 5 o'clock this evening as well. We look forward to seeing you soon.